Hello students, welcome to the course of on robotics. Now we are going to start our next topic on dynamics of robotics. The dynamics of robotic includes the inertial forces, which we have already ignored in the previous cases. In previous cases means we have studied the kinematic modeling of robots using direct and inverse kinematic modeling, where we have neglected the inertial forces. That means we have neglected the mass of a links, and what are the different torques that has to be generated, and what are the different forces acting on links. We have already ignored. Now we are going to study all these part, so that include in the dynamics of robots. So in this we are going to study what is the difference between the part we have already done, that is the kinematic modeling part, and what is we are going to do in the dynamic part, the difference between these two, and what are the different methods of formulating the problem based on the dynamics. And in that we are going to discuss in detail this Lagrangian formulation. So for this we are going to take a reference from the book, that is Robotics and Control by Mittal and Nagar. So in the today's class we are going to start with the dynamics and kinematic part. The dynamics and the kinematic part, basically the mechanics is divided into two parts, the statics and dynamics. Where statics, we have studied the bodies in rest. That means every links and joint and every end effector will be at rest, and we determine the forces which are acting on it and what are the internal forces acting on it. So that is a part of the statics that is not included in your course. So what we are going to do is a dynamic part. And dynamics, we have two different subdivision, that is a kinematics and kinetics. And we have already done the kinematic part. That kinematic means where we have done the direct kinematic modeling and inverse kinematic modeling to determine the displacement, velocities and accelerations. But basically we have determined the displacement only, not the velocity and acceleration part we have done. So this q means this is one type of generalized coordinate, which means that uh, uh, how many independent variables are there. It just signifies the set of all the independent variables that is present in the case of robots. So basically q is nothing but we can say theta or d displacement. So that is a joint parameters. It signifies the joint parameters that are variables one. Then this part we have already done. Now next comes the kinetic part, the dynamics part. In that case, so in addition to above this, we have a new factor called as a forces and torques that cause motion is to be determined. Now what are the different, because in the last case we have ignored the mass of a link and we have considered the motion, and without considering the effect of the forces that cause a motion. Now we are going to include the motion cause, that is the forces and the torques. And the main purpose of this robots, we want to determine these forces and torque in the present case. Basically it is necessary to have actuators capable of exerting large forces and torques on the links and the joint to move them at desired acceleration and velocities. So otherwise what happening in this case is the link may not be moving as fast as necessary, and consequently the robot may not obtain a desired positional accuracy. Because if that acceleration is not achieved, then it is very difficult to determine the accuracy of that robot. Because so that means to have a desired acceleration and velocity, we want to know what should be the torque and the forces required at the joint, or we say link joint, so that to have these accuracy. Otherwise accuracy will be lost if that much amount of torque is not available at the joint. So that is the main purpose or the task of this dynamics of robots. So to determine, so basically we study this to determine the capability of the actuators. It is because in order to determine this capability, it is important to determine this dynamic relationship. Now what is that relationship between, if I talking about the rectilinear motion, then it means forces, masses and acceleration. At the same time when I talk about the rotatory motion, that means the force is replaced by a torque, mass is replaced by the inertia, and where acceleration is replaced by the angular acceleration alpha. So we will use these equations. Basically we use these relationships or equations to find what forces and torques may be needed to induce desired acceleration in the robot links, joints, and the links. So we required some relation between these two three expressions, and the relation between these three expressions can be determined using different techniques, and that we call it as equation of motion basically, because in this we are going to study the motion part. So that means we want to know what is the equation of motion, what is the relation between these torque, inertia, and angular acceleration, or force, mass, and acceleration, that we want to know, and that relation is termed as the equation of motion. So this equation of motion is basically the differential equation that varies with time, because it is a time dynamic part, so that it is a time dependent motion was there. So for that we have two different, basically, or broadly we classify into two main domain: Newtonian approach and the Lagrangian approach. Newtonian approach is nothing but a force approach, that is using the Newton's second law of motion. We already know a mass is subjected to some type of forces, and because of this, if it is have a net force acting on this, then the body will be accelerate. Otherwise, if it is balanced, that means there will be no acceleration. So that means that mass into acceleration will be equal to the sum of the resultant forces that act in the direction of the acceleration. So mass into acceleration will be equal to the F2, that is in the direction of acceleration only, minus F1 and minus F3. That will be the Newtonian approach. That means you have to find out the different forces and the torques, and based on that you will determine one equation of motion, and that this is one type of equation of motion you will see between acceleration and the forces and the mass. Okay, now next is the Lagrangian approach. Now Lagrangian approach is a very important approach, and simpler than the Newtonian approach, because whenever the system become complex, or whenever we have a large degree, where we have a large number of degree of freedom in a particular system, then this system is very helpful and applicable. Because in this case it is basically is based on the energy method. You want to determine the energy of different elements of a system. Different elements in general includes, for example, if I talk about, because dynamic is a part, so vibration is the main part. So we have a spring mass system. This is one type of mechanical system. So what type of element, every element will having different amount of energy, like in this case, if I talk about, so every energy is divided into two parts: potential energy and the kinetic energy. Now when I talk about the potential energy, in case of spring mass damper system, the spring will store the potential energy, that is a half kx square, whereas this mass will store the kinetic energy because of its motion, because of the velocity, because of the, so that is equal to half mx dot square. X and x dot means x for displacement, x dot for represent the velocity, and x double dot represent the acceleration. Similarly, when I throw one ball at some height h, to some height h, and that will be stored as a potential energy, that is called as a gravitational potential energy, that is mgh. Similarly, when I talk about the pendulum, the hanging pendulum, when I move, when it oscillate like this, and for a particular orientation, that let's say for theta and h, the potential energy stored in this case is mgl into 1 minus cos theta. That I will tell you how it comes. So this is different types of energies. The potential energies basically that stored in different bodies depending on the elements. For like spring, we have half kx square. For the certain height, it is mgh, like mgl 1 minus cos theta. That is all about the potential energy. Second thing is the kinetic energy. The kinetic energy stored in the body can be like I already said, that mass is related to some type of velocity, that is half mx dot square. Similarly, when I talk about the pendulum, whenever we have angular motion, then mass is replaced by the inertia, moment of inertia, mass moment of inertia, and x dot is represented by the omega square, or in general it is called as the theta dot square. So these are the various energies which you are going to see in the different mechanical components. Basically, our energy method is dependent upon the two main energies, that is potential energy and the kinetic energy. So now based on the different mechanical system, we have different mechanical components. So every component is having different types of energies that to be stored in the system. So now it comes the Lagrangian approach. Now Lagrangian defines that That Lagrangian is defined as the difference of the kinetic energy and the potential energy. That is the Lagrangian, and the equation of motion is determined using this equation, that is time rate of change of dl by dq dot. Dq dot, again q will be the generalized coordinate, and it can be a set of a number of independent coordinates, and it will be theta, it will be displacement d, it will be any variable. Similarly, minus d del l by del q, del x or del theta or del d, and any component is equal to the sum of all the forces or sum of all the torques. It will be or term, that means either it will be equal to the forces if it is a rectilinear motion, if it is angular motion, that means if it will be equal to the torque, sum of the torques. So this is a way you will get the equation of motion just by substituting the value of L. L is nothing but the difference of the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Once you determine the kinetic energy and potential energy of a complete system, let's say we have a one component, so K minus V. I have a two components in a particular system. Let's say we talk about the robot having, let's say, two link robot. We have a two links in a robot, so it will be k1 plus k2 minus v1 minus v2. So like this we have a this Lagrangian approach. So we determine the Lagrangian, and then Lagrangian substituted here, and you determine this equation of motion. So it is very simple to find out. Just you want to know is that what type of kinetic energy is stored in a system, what type of potential energy is stored in a system, and you can easily solve it for a particular method. So now we are going to start one numerical. Basically we are taking a simple spring mass system. Every system is equivalent to the system, that is a spring mass system. Spring, we already told you that spring stores the potential energy, that is half kx square, whereas mass stores the kinetic energy. So in that case, the kinetic energy, let's say, is stored by the mass, and that is a half mx dot square. We set it as half mv square. V is nothing but x dot. X is the displacement, so x dot is the velocity. So I name it as k, the kinetic energy. And similarly, the spring stores a potential energy, so V is equal to half kx square. Once I know k, once I know V, the Lagrangian will be equal to k minus V. K is not this one minus V, so you will get this expression, the Lagrangian. This is a Lagrangian. Now when I talk about the expression, now you know what I want to calculate is this component and this. Once I know L, then it is very simple to get this equation of motion. Now how to determine this L? L is nothing but k minus this k minus V. Now once you know this L, the next is to differentiate that L with respect to q dot. Now in this case, the q is nothing but the x. So that just differentiate this L with respect to x dot, del L by del x dot, you will get mx dot. And again this one is again differentiated with respect to time domain, d by dt. So this is what you will get, mx double dot. So this is the first expression you get. Now talking about the second expression, del L by del q, that is in our case is del L by del x. So del L by del x is equal to what? The only function in x is the minus half kx square. So just this becomes 0, and this become minus half into k into 2x, 2 and 2 cancel, minus kx. Now you have this term, now you have this term. So according to Lagrangian, this minus this is equal to the sum of all the forces. That I am talking about the rectilinear motion. So rectilinear motion means we have a periodic force F, that is equal to F naught sin omega t, that is applied force in this case. So substituting the value of this, that is mx double dot here, minus plus become kx is equal to F. So this is a very famous equation of motion, and it is a second order degree of freedom, second order ordinary differential equation, and that can be solved by any of the numerical method to determine the displacement, and basically this determine the behavior of a system, that is or for a system on which the force is applied. And we want to know for the particular application of this force, or what particular magnitude of the force, or particular frequency of the force, how the system will behave. That is what we determine from this. But in our case, it is in robotics, it is reverse case. We want to determine this force, and I already know the acceleration, and for a particular acceleration and displacement, I want to know what should be the torque at the joint. That is the work in this case of robotics. So the problem is reverse. So that's all for today. Now next class we are going to study the one type of pendulum we have. So what is the dynamics of this pendulum, but how we get the equation of motion for this, that we are going to study in the next class. Thanks and have a nice day.